All right, this is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and we are back with another free-to-play Mystery Shard only run. Today, we are going to be talking about the Force Keep. So yeah, we've done the other two. We've already done Arcane, and we have done Spirit. So when you watch this, Force will be the newest one. And what we have been doing is we've been going in, and we've been beating them from stage 16 to 20 because we just left it, because we only needed to beat stage 15 to get Arbiter. That was the only thing we needed, so I never went any further. So now we're just going to kind of push through these dungeons and really see how hard they are. Now, Force Keep is really only hard because of the affinity, and most people in the beginning of the game are going to get mostly magic heroes, and you're not going to really have a lot of really strong spirit affinity heroes that you're going to just kind of get, which is honestly the only reason it's even hard when you first start. And now it's not really that hard because I have a decent amount of spirit affinity. So we're going to try beating this basically the same way we beat Fire Knight Castle. That's essentially what I'm going to do going into this. That's my strategy. And I think he does a lot of debuffs, if I remember correctly. So Spirit Host will be very good in here. So we're going to basically try to pull her out of here. We're going to bring in Spirit Host. All right, so now we've got an attack up. We've got a healer, which I don't even think we need, to be honest. I don't know if that's even something I'm going to want to do. Let's see. Who else can we pull in? She's good. She's good. Honestly, I might just do, for the sake of speed, and this is what I did in the other ones, I think we might just bring Syl in, even though she's the wrong affinity. I might do that. Let's see what happens. Let's just try it. We're gonna start and see how it goes. I know Kale's not the best option here, but I think the other two might work well here. Soul Bond and actually I might take out Kale. No, Kale's good for waves. I might take out Crimson possibly and put in Armiger. I forgot that I had him, so I only use him for like, Fire Knight and some others. I use him for dungeons basically. So I don't do dungeons a lot, so I guess that's why I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. Because turn meter reduction in all these fights is pretty useful. And I know Kale's not going to really do much. And Syl's really just there to heal, so I don't really give a crap if she does any damage. It's not really important. It's not super important, but it is there. That's really what it's for. But the rest of the team is going to do pretty good here, I think. So we might even just take Kale out and bring Armiger in, to be honest. That might be our best bet here. And then we'll have a full Spirit Affinity team that can just wreck this dude. I just don't want the waves to take too long. And I don't want anyone to die. And I feel like Kale will die against the level 20 versions a lot because he's the wrong affinity. So he's just going to get his ass handed to him. But as you can see, the Spirit Affinity heroes are doing pretty well. Kale might just be good for waves. We might just use him for waves. And you could use Apothecary in here as a speed up if you wanted to, but we're just not doing that right now because I want to make this a little bit easier. I don't want these battles to be 20, 30 minutes long. Because I know we can win even without Syl. It's just, like I said. We're going to use Syl, man. We've got her. We're at that point. But if you don't have her, then just use Apothecary or any other rare healing kind of speed up hero that you need. It's funny that I'm not using any turn boost right now. Like, I don't have Apothecary. I don't have Diablos in here. Well, who's the other one? Haikatoon. There's a bunch of them. You could use that. What's his name? The guy from Doom Tower. Archmage, Mr. Helmet Boy. Yeah, these guys are doing pretty good. This is what I like about, like, when you get to this point in the game where you have a bunch of heroes that are built. Like I have 30 now, almost 30. I have 29 level 60s. So like there's usually a hero for almost every situation. I'm kind of interested to see how fun it's going to be to re-gear everybody now because it took us this long to get the gear that we have now. So I'm hoping we can save up a ton of silver and start re-gearing heroes one by one. I'm basically going to sell everything I get now and only keep 6-star is basically what the goal is going to be here. And then we'll just transfer the gear from these heroes onto my newer heroes and see how that goes. I just want to try it. No, we're just next. Let's see. Do I want to try it? This seems to be going well. Yeah. We'll do it. Because I think the reason this is working with Kale is because I have turn meter reduction also on the other heroes. So it's kind of like I'm getting just enough turn meter reduction to make it where it's Kale's not going to really get hit too much. Even though his damage isn't anywhere near as good as what another Spirit Affinity champion could do in here, he's not terrible. I mean, look, he's still doing reasonable damage for a magic affinity in here. So, especially since we're only using a bunch of rare boneheads except for Syl. And then I'm going to do the same thing we did last time. Once we beat stage 20, we're going to go in here without Syl. We'll do a couple extra runs just to see some extra teams that you could use if you don't have this team. We'll throw together a couple, like we'll run it with the starting five, see if that's reasonable for this fight. I don't know if Diablos is the right choice because most of the starting five is not Spirit Affinity. So having Diablos in here might hurt you. It might be better just to use High Katoon if you have her at that point, which you will more than likely if you're running stage 20. She doesn't take long to get. It's only a month. It's funny that a month isn't long to me anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, it's only 7 months away. You're good. But once we do the full re-gear, it's going to be nice because we'll actually start really building teams that you can beat and use a bunch of heroes that nobody uses in this game. Like I really can't wait to get Fleshmonger. I can't wait to get him built up. Like there's so many rares that I'm like super excited to build and put into teams. That's right, smite it out. This isn't bad. This is going way faster than I thought. Like a minute and 48. That's not bad. That is not bad at all for this team. I was really thinking these fights were going to be like, because he's the strongest one. In the beginning of the game, when you first start, that's how long it's been, like since I've even done these dungeons. In the beginning of the game, this fight takes the longest, and it's always slow, like, because you're just beating your head. I mean, you always win, but the fight just takes forever because your heroes don't do enough damage. But now that we have Crimson and we have Soulbond, they make short work of them, I guess. I forgot that I have Sleep with Crimson and a bunch of other things that are going to slow the waves down, which is why we're not getting hurt so much and spending a lot of time re-healing or trying to do other things. Heal reduction, very good here. I don't know if they heal in this thing. I don't think any of these guys have heal, but having them not be able to heal is very nice. I'm going to have to start being careful with how I build things because I'm going to start having like a lot of arena-based buffs now. So like I'm going to go back into old stuff with new heroes and be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's a joke." Not realizing that I have like a ton of buffs from my arena and like other things. I mean, the faction wars, the faction guardians, things like that too. They're going to add up eventually, and they are adding up as you can see. We're not doing bad here with these heroes. Rare for the win. I'm almost out of legendaries to get. Like I have Yakarl that's going to be coming. We've got Visix that's coming. We've got what is that other one's name? Yannicka. And I think that's it. After that, you get Cleopatrix, whatever her name is, the bird lady, for like logging in for like 3 or 4 months, right? So she's not anytime soon. So we're not even going to consider her. But yeah, we've got like three more legendaries, and then everything else would be from Doom Tower. I don't think there's any other legendaries that we can get. But then we can start saving up for our costume, which is nice for Arbiter. Yeah, I'm really shocked at how easy this is going. Like I knew it was going to be not hard because these are stage 20, but it's I really thought this one was going to be a little bit more was going to give a little more fight. Let's put it that way. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a cakewalk. Like I think we did when we did Spirit Keep. I think even a Kale had died a couple times, if I remember correctly. Like I had a few heroes that were dying. Like this is just getting laid to rest, as they say. And technically, Kale's our main nuker. I honestly don't even think Kale's necessary in here. I think just bringing another Spirit Affinity here might be your best option. Like I bring him in because he's got life steal and he stays alive, but this isn't even that's not even a problem right now. So maybe just bringing in, or even someone like Grush, possibly. If you built him as a nuke, I built him as a healer, and he's more defensive, so it might not be the best option. But yeah, if you built him with more attack involved and more of like a PVE build, yeah, you could probably bring someone like Grush in here and do some nice damage. Grush could possibly even be your replacement for Syl because he puts the leeches and stuff and puts the heal, the continuous heal. So that could be a good option here for instead of Syl. But you get Grush after Syl, so it doesn't. It's almost pointless unless you pulled him early. You know, I love Crimson Slayer. It's crazy how the hero that I used to loathe getting, I literally hated getting her because it was such a freaking waste of a shard, to being one of my favorite heroes in the game now. It's crazy how playing this way can change your whole perspective on things. It's like heroes that I thought were just trash are now like probably the coolest heroes in the game. And they don't even do much, which is the messed up part. They don't even have like crazy good kits. They just have good enough kits. So this is stage 20. Kale's getting a little beat up here now because he's the wrong. There we go. We got speed down. He's going to heal back up. We don't really need heal reduction. It's funny how she's landing heal reduction on this one when we don't need it. Where's that on Fire Knight? Look at that. They're just beating him up. I beat the force keep up, up, up. I beat the force keep up, up, up. All right, let's see. All right, so let's try. Now that was stage 20. That was it. End of story. So let's see. Let's edit this team. Let's see a team. Let's bring the starters in and see what happens here. We're just gonna run it. I like to see what the problems are with the starting five because I want everyone to see what they're good at and what they're bad at. So even if we lose, I honestly don't care. There we go. So this is the starting five. Let's see how they can handle this. It's going to be a lot slower and there might be deaths. This might not work. We'll see because they are strong, but they're not like uber strong. And your main attack heroes are, I mean, honestly, War Maiden's going to do more damage here than Kale probably, if I had to guess. We'll find out. Yeah, she's a beast right now. Actually, no, Kale's doing about the same. I'm more worried about the waves. That's always how this works. Like, I'm never like, oh my god, they're not going to beat the boss. Like, I don't really think the boss is going to be a problem in this fight. It's really just these freaking waves, which is seems to be okay. Let's see if they get my best time. That'd be funny, right? They beat the time that I did with the other team. I don't think that's going to happen, but they're already slow as crap right now. So we'll see. Technically speaking, I don't have to do any other team after this because if the starting five can handle it, then it doesn't really matter what team I put in here because these are the team. This is the team you should have, irregardless of what you've been playing, because they're all farmable and easy to get. So yeah, these guys are doing some nice damage here. I was about to say we need a shield there from my girl. Would be nice, Miss Valerie. All right, so she's just gonna give us attack up. Thanks, thanks for nothing, Valerie. Go ahead, kill her. Yeah, I think regen might be your best bet as far as Diablos goes. She's I've been noticing it. She's the only one that really comes down that far on healing. Like Valerie's not strong enough to keep her alive. So I think some sort of HP regen would be good for her. I don't know how I feel about lifesteal on her still. It could be good because she has the AoE, but she, like I said, but she doesn't do enough damage. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna chug the rest of my cold coffee. It's down to that part where it's like the sugary bottom. Well, this looks like it's going reasonably well. That's right. Decrease the turn meter of the guy you're going to kill. That's the way I like to work things. So, from what I can tell here, the only problem you would have is if you're not doing enough damage. Because I feel like this guy will overpower you eventually. That was the problem I was having in the beginning of the game, where they were overpowering me to the point where I couldn't heal past the damage they were outputting. It doesn't seem to be the case right this second, but I'm just saying for people who are first getting here and maybe doing this when they were supposed to do it and not 8 months into the game because you just didn't care about it, like me. So that's what I'm seeing right now is that these guys they're able to handle themselves. If anything, Diablos will die and the rest of the team is fine. War Maiden could die. That's a possibility. She's a little bit weak willed, so to speak. But if you get her defensed up or put her in life steal, maybe, then yeah. You could probably put this whole team in life steal and it would work if I had to guess. So yeah, there you go. Starting five can beat this eventually. I always say eventually because I don't want someone to have like, oh, I went in there with level 60s and we all died. I'm like, yeah, it takes time. Like there's a lot more bonuses that go into this team. And I still haven't gotten her awakening, which is kind of annoying. I've been looking for it in the shop and it just no go. I just want 1 star, baby. Just 1 star. So there you go. That was the Force Keep. It seems like this one's pretty easy. Just bring a bunch of Spirit Keep heroes, Spirit Affinity heroes in here, or bring the starting five and they'll just take care of it. I would replace Diabolus with Apothecary in a heartbeat in this fight, but it wasn't necessary, so it doesn't really matter if you have her or not. I mean, any healer could be good in here, or any turn meter increaser could be good. Obviously, we didn't even need the healer because everyone lived. If someone died, I'd be worried about it. But yeah, I mean, look at this. War Maiden actually, she's right on par with Kale there for this fight because that's how much the affinity really affects it. It's crazy. So, all right, let's get out of here. Stage selection. So that's basically the Force Keep, stage 16 to 20. This was actually one of the easier ones. I figured it was gonna be, but I also was a little worried about it just because of the affinity. But as you can see, it didn't really matter. This is not difficult as far as late stage dungeons. If you're beating anything like 15 to 20 in the regular dungeons, I don't imagine that this dungeon will really give you that much trouble as long as you have enough defense and attack, really, just to kind of push through it. There's no tricks for this fight. There was nothing in here that really mattered. You could bring someone like Armiger in here and, get the job done just as well as possible. Here, let's do one bonus fight where we only use Spirit Affinity heroes. We're gonna bring Grush. We're gonna bring her. We're gonna bring Armiger, and we're gonna bring her. So let's see how this team does. There's no healer. Oh no, you got Grush. So here, let's see how these guys do with the speed lead. Let's see if we can beat this thing fast. I'm just curious how they do with the turn meter reduction. I honestly think Syl in here would be better than Grush, but I'm still interested. I'm curious if this is going to be a lost cause team. The Grush is not built for attack, so that's why this will be a little bit slower if I had to guess. The Leech will be helpful for the boss. It's not so much helpful for the waves. I'm curious what Armiger's going to do in here. The All Spirit Affinity team. Well, yeah, it looks like it's going to be about the same as the other fight. Doesn't look like there's any speed up here. I would say Syl would be the one that speeds it up the most and keeps the team running because you're just going to keep stunning everything. But it looks like Grush is just as good for keeping everyone alive. He's got the heals, he's got everything. These guys do a lot of damage there. I am surprised. Continuous heals. Everybody in here heals himself, though. So There shouldn't be any issues. This is bonus round. Bonus round force keep fight. So yeah, there's plenty of heroes you can use in here. I would say that you could use a mix of pretty much every team I just used. There's no right or wrong here. I would just pick the ones that you have that are built the best, and you'll probably get the best time on those hero with those heroes. I think Syl is obviously a good version, a good hero to have, like I said, for the waves, but yeah, there's nothing there's nothing extra. There's really no team in here that should be that bad as long as you can keep everyone reasonably healed. Removing debuffs would be nice, and having at least one, possibly two nukers would be even better. And having Spirit Host is good too, because she removes all these dumb debuffs and heal reductions, which is something that could possibly get your team wiped if you're not really defensive enough. Lay to rest. Oh, what was our best time? I didn't even see. It was probably the first team that we used. I'm curious. I'm curious. All right, so our best time was 2:33, so that was not our best time. All right, but there you go, another team that can do it. Who cares, right? They all work. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you saw something that you maybe will help you get through it. If you're having trouble just seeing that you can literally almost build any hero and get through this, essentially. So don't get bogged down by all the other garbage. Don't listen to people who tell you that you can't do it with random heroes. You can, and yeah. If you have any questions or anything else you want to talk about this video, feel free to leave comments. Remember, the best way to grow this channel is for us to, like, subscribe, all these things. Make comments. I pretty much answer everybody. If I miss you, it's because I'm either asleep or I'm a jerk. Those are probably the two reasons that I wouldn't answer. It's because I'm asleep or I'm a jerk. All right. So if you have any other reasons, feel free to let me know. All right. So this is the Force Keep, guys. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. And you guys take care.